Hello there, my fellow Star Wars fan. I'm your host, Dingus Bringus, and today I'll be talking about why I think Palpatine is the one that actually killed Shmi. So, in Attack of the Clones, when Shmi dies, she dies in Anakin's arms, and she just dies. Like, there's really no explanation to it. And I don't think, based off of what happened in Attack of the Clones, and based off of what she was like and how we saw her in Attack of the Clones, she didn't look close to death. Yeah, she was tortured a little bit by the Tusken Raiders, and obviously they had her captive, but it didn't seem like they had any intention of her dying. So it just seemed like they wanted to either capture her for some reason, maybe turn her into one of their own, or into maybe a slave for them. I don't know why the Tusken Raiders had her, but she just dies out of nowhere. We don't see any mortal wounds. We just see some scratches on her face. I don't think she's bleeding anywhere from on the inside. Doesn't seem like that. She seemed to just be sleeping or resting or whatever. I mean, obviously, again, still bound, still captured, but she didn't seem to be mortally hurt in any way. So it always felt weird to me that she just straight up dies out of nowhere. And the fact that she dies in Anakin's arms, I feel like, is also another clear indicator that Palpatine is the one that killed Shmi. Because we know that Palpatine was looking over Anakin for a long time, and we know that Palpatine had his eyes on Anakin being his apprentice for a long time, because he knew he was the chosen one. Palpatine knew that Anakin was the chosen one, so obviously Palpatine will want to turn him to the dark side and bring him on his side instead of having Anakin go against him. And really, what better way to start to turn Anakin to the dark side than having his mother die in his arms? Palpatine knows that Shmi is the most important thing to Anakin. Anakin confides in Palpatine with everything. Anakin told Palpatine about Shmi. Anakin told Palpatine about Padme. So Palpatine is a massive confidant for Anakin. He knows that Shmi is very important to him. And I personally think that Palpatine was the one that killed Padme in Revenge of the Sith. And if that's the case, then it wouldn't be out of the question for Palpatine to, even though he wasn't there, drain the life essence out of somebody. And I think Palpatine is that powerful, personally. I do think he is. I think Palpatine, we know that he was a master in all 7 forms of lightsaber combat. He was one of the most, if not the most powerful Sith of all time. And he was only really matched by Yoda and Mace Windu, 2 of the most, if not the 2 most powerful Jedi of all time. So I think he's definitely powerful enough. And as Palpatine says, even though it's an overused line, even though he says, I mean, it's just like he says, the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. One of those abilities, very well, could be draining the life essence out of someone else. And what better way to start Anakin's turn to the dark side than to have Anakin's mother, the only person that he really cares about and loves, die in his arms. And we see, right after Shmi dies, Anakin uses the dark side. He goes crazy on the Tusken Raiders. He kills them all, the men, the women, and the children. We hear Qui-Gon Jinn talking to Anakin, telling him, no, don't use the dark side. So we know that his plan worked. Palpatine is a genius. If you just take a step back and look at the story of the prequels, look at Palpatine's plan and everything he accomplished, he is a mastermind. He is a genius. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I firmly, firmly believe that Shmi dying was all a part of Palpatine's plan. I firmly believe that Palpatine was the one to kill Shmi. Because she just dies out of nowhere. It really doesn't make any sense. She just dies. That's it. She just like, and she just dies without any explanation. I don't see any mortal wounds. I don't think she was mortally wounded at all. But I think something else must have killed her, and I think that something else was Palpatine draining the life essence of Shmi. So that's one step closer to Anakin turning to the dark side, one step closer to him becoming Palpatine's apprentice. But the question is, what do you think? Do you think that Palpatine killed Shmi? Or do you think I'm totally wrong with that? And make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future Star Wars videos every other day at 6 p.m. Eastern. And especially like what if you enjoy, guys. Let's see if we can get to maybe 5 likes for this video. I'd be greatly appreciated. Put a lot of work into these videos, and be cool to see them do better. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.